It is not a self-loving thing to put yourself in a position where you are chasing after somebody and experiencing rejection after rejection. This is the process of building up our capacity to make ourselves feel good. Hello everyone, and thank you for checking out this video today. We're going to be talking about one of the things that was crazy making for myself years ago when I was dating, and that was my relationship to uncertainty. Now, over the years, I've come to learn that there are many things in our life that we can't be certain about, and one of the places where there is a heck of a lot of just uncertainty is relationships. Like, we truly cannot know what somebody is 100% thinking or wanting to do at a given time. And many of us take the experience of uncertainty in dating to mean something bad about ourselves. And it's one of the reasons why we can end up chasing after people who are showing us clear red flags that are not interested in us and ultimately don't want to pursue anything long-lasting and romantic. It's interesting that we can say that we want a long-term relationship and we want somebody who cares and loves for us, and then find ourselves trapped in these dynamics where we're not getting anything that we want, and we're in this constant push to try and win someone over. And one of the key reasons why we can get stuck in this space is because of our relationship to uncertainty and our relationship to the anxiety that that uncertainty brings up. So for myself, when I was dating people who in some way were showing me signs that they weren't that interested in me, it's like that lit a flame inside of me, and I would feel myself drawn to then try and win them over. And the reason that was happening was because that uncertainty was like triggering a self-worth wound inside of me that I had learned to associate uncertainty with, oh, I must not be good enough. There must be something fundamentally wrong with me. And in like a backwards way, I then would want to chase after that person in order to find that certainty, to, at the end of it, hope that I can feel like, oh yes, I was chosen. And there are many reasons why dating from that space is bad for us. We miss like the clear red flag that somebody isn't that interested in us because we're more focused on finding that sense of wholeness and love that we ultimately can't give ourselves. We become like blinded to the glaring red flags in front of us, and we pine after people for way longer than we should. And we know this deep down, right? There's a part of us that knows, I should not be so hung up on this person. I've wasted months of my time trying to get this person's attention, and yet I still feel compelled to have to try and win them over. There's a logical, intuitive part of us that knows that we should just leave that be and go and find somebody different. But our anxiety tells us, the other part of us, that if we don't win this person over, we are unworthy in some way. In that space of uncertainty, when we are triggered, essentially, we have two paths there. We either do the chasing and we try and win somebody over in order to make us feel better, ignoring red flags usually in the process, or we can choose ourselves. We can look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, for whatever reason, this person might not be choosing us, or they're giving us signs that they're not interested, but I'm interested in myself and I love myself. That is the thing that is missing when we are chasing after people. It is not a self-loving thing to put yourself in a position where you are chasing after somebody and experiencing rejection after rejection. If somebody is showing you signs that they are not interested, if there is a part of you intuitively that can recognize that this isn't going anywhere, you either need to call it out or you need to step away. Whilst those things are difficult for us to do, it is ultimately a self-loving thing to do. And part of the reason we feel uncomfortable doing it is because we just haven't done it before. We've thought the solution to the uncertainty that we face is to chase after and try and win somebody over. It's control seeking, trying to control how somebody else feels, thinks, and behaves towards us. Why are we trying to twist ourselves into so many shapes, right, when we can just choose ourselves? When we step away from people who are showing us in some way that they're not interested in us, we then open the door to people who can love us. It's really true that we will attract and keep people in our lives who are reflections of who we see ourselves to be. If we believe on some level that we are unworthy and we're not worth a loving, caring relationship, we will keep people in our lives who reinforce those beliefs. And it is until we start changing our behaviors that we can start rewiring those beliefs. Nowadays, when I maybe am dating somebody or like starting to text somebody and they're being really unresponsive, I might feel like that desire in me to chase them and to send double text and triple text. But in those moments, the thing that I like to do is turn it around. Instead of thinking, I need to get this person's attention, I think, what do I need to give myself? What attention do I need to be giving myself? And in that moment, what we are learning to do is self-regulate. We're not relying on somebody else's care, love, and affection to keep us going. This is all about how we respond to anxiety and how we treat ourselves when we are feeling unworthy. The thing about comparing that journey versus trying to chase after somebody, that's the quick fix, right? Sending the texts and looking at their social media and asking them for one more chance, or just making ourselves look like a fool in some cases. That's almost like the easier path that we can take, and maybe the path that we've always taken, versus actually taking a step back and doing the inner work necessary to really feel whole and loved on our own. We can talk all day and night about how bad that other person might be and how they can treat you better, but also I would argue why it is that you are somebody who chases after them. Why is it that you can't see the red flags for what they are and say, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time with relationships like this. I'm going to instead make sure that I'm taking care of myself and put myself in better positions. And this doesn't mean we then put up with people who are being unavailable and hot and cold dynamics. This is the process of building up our capacity to make ourselves feel good. And you will find, right, you will find once you have developed a good level of self-love, you will start to find those hot and cold and unavailable dynamics uninteresting. Like, you will begin to see them as harmful towards you. You won't want to engage with them. You will think to yourself, I've been feeling really good. Why am I putting myself in a position where somebody else is going to mistreat me? There is a reason why people with high self-worth and good healthy boundaries end up in secure relationships. And that's because they won't settle for any less than they know they deserve. We can want the amazing and great relationship. We can want somebody to love us, but unless we are feeling that independently, it's going to be really hard for us to attract those sorts of people into our lives. There have been times on my, self-worth journey that, I have been in relationships with people who I know have loved me, but because I haven't been able to feel that within myself, I haven't accepted it. I can guarantee you, if somebody turned around to you tomorrow and said that they could give you the relationship that you wanted, you would probably turn that relationship away, because it all comes back to how we see and view ourselves. So being able to turn around those thoughts and ask yourself the questions, how am I treating myself right now? How would I like to treat myself? What can I be doing right now to make myself feel better? It's like reprogramming the way that we go about managing anxiety and discomfort, instead of looking for other people to make us feel better. So I hope that I've got the message across today. I really enjoy making videos, but at the same time, I end up going on tangents, and then by the end of it, I'm like, did I actually get a point across here? So I hope that you've managed to take something from this video. I know I can go on tangents. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You can check out my articles over on Substack, and you can connect with me on there as well. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see you next time for another video.